Hi, it's Laura from Worditude, and I'm here today to bring that promised video about creating your homepage. So I'm going to talk today about the 3 key things to consider when you're creating your homepage. And I've written 2 whole pages of notes for this, so this might end up being a long one because there's quite a few things that go into it. So last week I was asked by someone, did I have a blog post or some kind of template that would help them write their homepage? And I don't. And the reason I don't have a template for homepages is because it's very different depending on your business. So for example, if you are a really high traffic business selling low price point products, then often it will be completely acceptable to have products right there on display on your homepage, because it's not a big investment or a big ask for people to click on those images and go straight for the product and even buy it without much nurture process needing to happen, because it's a low price point. It's not a big investment for them. Whereas if you're selling something that's a really high ticket item and you're actually not expecting a large throughput of traffic to that homepage, then you need to put a lot more effort into nurturing every single lead that comes to the website. And actually it'd be quite a long time before you'd even put a sales page in front of them, let alone the price of the final product. So a lot about your business will influence what goes on the homepage. So instead of creating a template, I've written out the 3 things that I think are the most important things to consider when creating your homepage, so that you can take a look at your very own homepage. You can even do it while you're watching this video and see how well it's working for you and your business and for your audience. And then you'll know what changes to make or how to completely scrap it and start again if you need to. So the first thing that I wanted to talk about is the first thing that you need to consider when creating your homepage is, how did your visitor, that homepage viewer, how did they get there? Because the chances are they aren't totally cold traffic. They're not very likely to be someone who knows nothing at all about your business and has landed on your homepage. I think the 3 most likely ways that people will come across my website certainly is either they've come across a blog post, often in a search engine result or a Pinterest search result, and they've read the blog post and then they don't know where to go next. There's nothing enticing enough in the sidebar or within the content of the blog post for them to get drawn in and start consuming the rest of the content on my site. So they bail out and they click to go to the homepage. And that helps them kind of get a higher level view of what the business is all about and whether it's right for them and whether there's other content that they want to explore. Another way people come to my homepage is when a friend refers them, or a mutual acquaintance of ours, and they say, oh, this person would really be able to help you write your online content, and they give them my web address. So although they might be completely new to me, they're already, I would consider them already quite warm, because they've had that referral, and that word of mouth referral means a lot to them. So they already know that I'm a pretty good fit for the problem that they've got and that I'm going to be able to help them. And the other way that people can get there is, how did they get there? Oh, and also from social media profiles. So if they've seen me online, usually on Facebook, seen me comment on somebody else's post, or maybe they've been following my Facebook page and then they get a bit more curious, then my homepage URL is in the profile of all of my social media profiles. So again, they already know a little bit about me and what I do. So that's the first thing I want you to consider about your homepage. How have people got there? Is it very likely that they've if you have a physical business, maybe you advertise your URL in places in the real world so that people can find you online. Maybe they found you through a social media post that other people have shared. Maybe they've read a blog post. But get yourself into the mindset of that website visitor and think about, how did they get there? Where have they come from? How much do they already know about you? What about you have they already seen? And that will come, that information, that background information is going to help you in a minute. You'll see how that's going to help you decide what to put on your homepage. The second factor that you want to consider when creating your homepage, and this will help, this kind of brings in that the first factor I just talked about, is Your homepage needs to be a balance of what your audience needs. So you'll have thought about that in when you did that first exercise, and what you need. So think about that person who's arrived on your homepage. What have they had already? What is it that they need? Often they want to see, first of all, they want to see like, who the hell are you? They want some kind of credentials to know what your experience, what your expertise is in, that you can be trusted in some way. So they're looking for some kind of credibility indicators. They also might be looking for free content. So they've consumed some free content and they're like, this is good, I like this, what more have you got? So the homepage would be a good way for them to find that. Or some people are just so ready to pay the money and get their problem solved that they're not interested in more free content. They just want to jump straight to the sales pages. They want to know how they can pay you to get what it is that you offer. Now you might come up with other reasons for why that website visitor's on your homepage. And those are the three that I use for my homepage, and I thought they might be useful. They kind of cover a lot of businesses, so they're a good place to start. And then you need to balance that against what is it that you need, and this is going to change over time. So if you've got a launch coming up of something, what actually you might need is not to make sales right now. You might want to be driving traffic to a waitlist page so that when you launch your new thing, you're launching to a warm audience who are eager, and it's going to help give those initial sales the boost that you want. Or maybe you have a particular flagship product and you know this is the one that gives me the best return for my time, gives me the, is most profitable, and so your goal is to drive people towards that solution. Or maybe you're in the early days and you're all booked up right now with as many clients as you can handle. So what you really want to do is start building your email list so that you've got you can develop that consistent pipeline of paying customers. So one of your priorities would be to be building your email list and nurturing that list, and that will be reflected by what you put on the homepage. So over time, it's not like your the priorities for your customers or the priorities for the audience member that's gone to that homepage, they're not likely to change radically over time. Once you've done that exercise, maybe as your business matures and you get more well known, then that might change over time, and that's worth reflecting on maybe once or twice a year at most. But your priorities for your business, they can change, even within a month. So it's always worth having a check-in. I say, every month I have a quick look at my website and see, is it doing all the things I wanted it to do? I do a more detailed check once a quarter, but at least once a month, take a quick look over that homepage and check, is that reflecting what your current priorities are, or do you need to change it up a little bit? So that was the second factor to consider. The third thing that I want you to consider when deciding what content to put on your homepage is that your homepage works in conjunction with your menu bar. Now, often a question that I get asked quite a lot is, can I put the same content on the homepage as is in the menu bar? So once you've done the exercise of deciding what the viewer wants and what you want, and then you decide, actually, I want them to see my about page, I want them to see this particular sales page, and I want them to visit my blog. All of those things are in the menu bar, or two of those things are in the menu bar. Is it really worth me using that valuable homepage real estate to kind of promote those things when they could access them via the menu bar? And my answer is absolutely yes. If that's where you want to drive your traffic, then use your homepage to drive traffic there. And the reason for that is if someone has come from another page on your site, particularly a blog post, and then decided to bail out and come to your homepage to find out where they want to go next, your menu bar has already failed to take them where you want them to go, because the menu bar was right there at the top of the blog post. They could have used it to access another page on your site, and they didn't. They decided to go to the homepage, which is almost like hitting SOS, going, I don't know where to go from here. I'm going to go to the homepage and kind of get my bearings and decide what to do next. So your menu bar's already failed them at that point. If they've arrived directly on your homepage and they've started to scroll down to see the content of your homepage, again, your menu bar is out of sight. So if there was something that was going to catch their attention, it would have already done so. If your menu bar was going to work to drive the traffic to where you want it to be, it would have already done that before they started scrolling down your homepage. So it's completely fine to try and drive people to those pages by using up that homepage space, even though you're just sending them to the same pages as is advertised in your menu bar. And the menu bar is not very useful space for trying to entice people to pages, because you've got like 3 words at most for each page, so you can't put any kind of description, you've got no taglines there. So it's really only for people who know already, I want to get to this page. It works great for about pages, contact pages, work with me, because people know what to expect when they hit that label. But there's no opportunity for you to kind of advertise the content that's going to be there. Whereas your homepage, you can add an image, you can add a short description, and then the link to the page that you want them to go to. So it's not the same as just a menu bar label. You've got kind of a mini advert there to pitch the content to them, to kind of entice the website visitor onto that page that you want them to see next. So that was the third thing to consider. And once you've put all of those 3 things into play, and you've created a homepage that you feel does a really good job of balancing your needs with the website visitors' needs and helping them to go a bit further along that journey of getting to know you and work with you and ultimately give you money and become a happy paying customer, then go back to that first exercise where you thought about where has this person come from, what do they need. And I had in one of my previous jobs, I ran usability tests, or I worked on usability tests, where we'd write a script, and it was like, you are the customer and you've come from this place and you want to perform this action on this website. So write yourself a few scripts like that says, you know, I am a customer who found a relevant blog post on Pinterest, and I've read the blog post. Now I want to know a bit more about the person that wrote it and potentially find out how we work together. So they're all the kind of scenarios that you thought about in that first exercise that I talked about at the beginning. And then you run through them. Imagine that you are that customer, you've come from that place, you've got that intention, you've got that goal, that need that you want to be fulfilled by the homepage. Now take a look at your homepage and see how good a job it does at fulfilling that. And that will be really useful exercise, again, to run through every month, just to see, is it still meeting the needs of my customer? Is it still meeting my needs? And that is how you create your homepage. So it is a bit more complicated than having like a template. I would say in the majority of cases, you can get away with a sort of formula of having an opening paragraph that tells them a little bit about who you are, what you do, and who you work with, so that they know straight away that they're in the right place. You want some kind of banner on there, or a mention of that with your credentials, qualifications, as seen in, something that makes them know that you're the real deal, you know what you're talking about, and that you're a qualified, experienced expert in this area. And then I use 3 columns, or they're just boxes, a row of 3, with an image, a title, and a description that takes them to the 3 different pages that I think are the ones that will be most useful to them, but also reflect the journey that I want them to take through my website content. And then it's always a good idea as well to have some kind of sign up box on that homepage, so that people who are just like, yeah, I'm not really sure right now, but I want to keep in touch, it's really obvious for them where they need to put their email address. So although I don't have a template as such, I have kind of described one that will cover off most of those things that I've talked about. But it's really important that you don't just follow a template without knowing what the point of it is. It's useful to go through and do that exercise first, so that you're able to review your homepage and keep making sure that it's working for your business, rather than blindly following a template that should work because somebody else has told you it should. So hopefully that's been helpful to you. As ever, if you want any help with that, or want to show off your homepages, especially if you make over your homepage as a result of watching this video, then I'd love for you to share it in the Write with Worditude Facebook group. And thanks so much for watching. I'll be back next week with another video. Bye!